This secret book of manifestation hands you the 4 sacred steps that turn thought into thing. As you listen, you'll learn to imagine purely, align your feeling, act with confidence, and allow with surrender. The very 4 sacred steps to manifestation. If you seek the method the ancients used to create fortunes and freedom, this audiobook will show you the way. Secret Book of Manifestation. Introduction. In the silent chambers of eternity, a secret hums beneath the pulse of creation, a truth so ancient that only the awakened remember. It is the secret known by those who have shaped empires with invisible hands and moved mountains through the quiet command of thought. This power is not granted by fate, nor earned through labor. It is woven into the very essence of your being, the invisible architecture from which reality itself arises. The universe bends not to status or struggle, but to certainty. Those who appear to summon fortune and opportunity have merely tuned their inner frequency to the rhythm of manifestation. They practice not sorcery, but symmetry, the divine alignment of thought, feeling, and belief that bridges the unseen and the seen. This wisdom has never been lost, only forgotten. It has waited within you, eternal and patient, whispering through intuition, through dream, through the moments when you almost remembered who you are. The masters of manifestation hold no secret that you do not already possess. They have simply remembered what you are now ready to reclaim. That thought, when fused with feeling, crystallizes into form. The ancient path unfolds in 4 sacred steps, each one a key to the hidden mechanism of creation. First, imagine purely. See with the vision of the soul, unclouded by doubt or past limitation. Second, feel deeply. Infuse your vision with emotion until your heart beats in harmony with its fulfillment. Third, act in faith. Walk as one who knows the outcome is assured, and let your confidence become the bridge between realms. Fourth, surrender completely. Release the when and how, and allow the universe, wise beyond measure, to complete the design. This is not the art of forcing reality into shape, but the sacred science of remembering that you and reality are one. The true masters do not command the current, they become the current. Their strength lies not in striving, but in being. And now, this ancient current flows once more through your awareness. The secret was never theirs to keep. It has always belonged to you, waiting for the moment you would remember your power to manifest worlds. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. Part 1. The Hidden Laws of Creation. Chapter 1. The Mind as Gold. In a tranquil valley among ancient hills, a young woman named Lucy spent her days watching others chase fortune while she held a different kind of wealth. Each morning she would sit beneath an old oak tree, closing her eyes to witness the golden threads of thought weaving through her consciousness. Where others saw emptiness, she recognized the raw material of creation, pure awareness itself. Through patient observation, Lucy discovered that her focused attention possessed a magnetic quality. When she held a thought with unwavering clarity, the physical world began to arrange itself around that mental image. She learned that consciousness was not merely a witness to reality, but its very architect. The wealthy merchants who passed through her town carried heavy purses, Yet Lucy saw that their true wealth lay not in their coins, but in their certainty. They moved through the world with an unshakable knowing, their thoughts as solid as the gold in their vaults. Their success flowed not from what they possessed, but from who they had become in consciousness. In the same valley lived a cheerful soul named Benny, whose laughter rang through the marketplace. Where others prayed for prosperity, Benny danced with it. He discovered that when he approached life with gratitude instead of need, abundance flowed naturally. Each morning he would greet the sun not with requests, but with appreciation for the wealth already present in his life. As the seasons turned, Benny noticed a curious pattern. The more he celebrated life's abundance, the more abundance appeared. His gratitude became a magnet, drawing circumstances that matched his joyful expectations. He had stumbled upon what the ancients knew: consciousness shapes reality as surely as a potter shapes clay. Lucy and Benny's experiences unveil an ageless truth. The real philosopher's stone is not a mystical object, but the transformative power of focused thought. The banks of the world may hold gold, but the vault of consciousness holds the power to create it. Sacred practice. Find a quiet space where you will remain undisturbed. Close your eyes and breathe deeply, allowing your awareness to settle like still water. Begin to observe your thoughts as streams of golden light, shimmering with creative potential. Feel each thought radiating with the power to shape reality. Experience the wealth already present in your consciousness, limitless, luminous, alive. Let this golden awareness saturate your being until you sense its presence condensing into form. Maintain this practice for several minutes, knowing that as you master the art of thought, you master the art of creation itself. Chapter 2. The Power of Frequency. Through the wisdoms passed down across generations, you now encounter the tale of Mabel, a merchant whose daily fortunes rose and fell with the tides of her inner world. In her leather-bound journal, she began tracking not just profits and losses, but the emotional currents that preceded them. A pattern emerged, clear as mountain streams. Her feelings shaped the very fabric of each day's events. When anxiety gripped her heart about a pending transaction, complications would invariably arise. Yet on mornings when she moved through the marketplace with quiet joy, opportunities appeared as naturally as dew on morning grass. Through this observation, she uncovered a truth the ancients whispered of. The universe responds not to the words you speak, but to the frequency you emanate. The law of attraction flows through emotional channels, for emotions are the language the universe understands. Your words may declare abundance, but if your heart trembles with lack, it is the trembling that echoes back through reality. This is why two merchants may speak the same words of intention, yet harvest vastly different results. Their emotional broadcasts differ. In a distant town lived Gus, a craftsman who worked in solitude. His workshop, once filled with melancholic melodies that matched his heavy heart, produced steady but uninspiring work. One day, wisdom led him to fill his space with soaring symphonies that lifted his spirit toward joy. As his emotional atmosphere shifted, so too did the world's response to his presence. Customers who once passed his window now stepped inside, drawn by an invisible force they couldn't name. Opportunities that had slumbered now awakened, flowing toward him like streams to the sea. Gus had stumbled upon what masters of manifestation have always known. Emotion is the broadcast, and the world is but an echo. You see, the universe mirrors not your words or wishes, but the frequency of your being. When you alter your emotional broadcast, reality has no choice but to adjust its reception. This is not metaphor but mechanism, the very physics of manifestation. Ancient practice of emotional alignment. Find a peaceful moment in your day. Choose one thought of genuine gratitude, perhaps for the air in your lungs or the ground beneath your feet. Hold this thought gently in your awareness, but focus primarily on the feeling it creates in your body. Notice where this gratitude resonates, perhaps as warmth in your chest or lightness in your shoulders. Stay with this sensation until it feels as real as your own heartbeat. This vibration you now experience is your natural frequency of abundance, tuning itself to higher possibilities. This is not mere practice. It is attunement to the very current of creation. Chapter 3. The Invisible Blueprint. In a humble dwelling at the edge of town lived Clara, whose heart held visions of a magnificent home filled with light and beauty. Though her means allowed for only a single room, she understood an ancient truth. Form follows thought, with unfailing precision. Each evening, Clara would sit at her small wooden table, sketching her dream dwelling with unwavering devotion. She captured every detail, the way sunlight would dance through tall windows, the gentle curve of the staircase, the warmth of wooden floors beneath bare feet. Her drawings were more than mere lines on paper. They were templates of energy, pulsing with creative force. As she poured loving attention into each detail, the universe began its subtle orchestration. An unexpected inheritance arrived from a distant relative. A master builder, moved by her detailed vision, offered guidance. Materials appeared at reduced costs, and skilled craftsmen volunteered their expertise, drawn by her clear and loving vision. The law of visualization operates with mathematical precision. Thought creates an energetic architecture that reality must eventually mirror. When you hold a vision with loving clarity, you create a magnetic field that attracts the necessary elements for its manifestation. In another part of the land lived Henry, a merchant who discovered that imagination could serve as a rehearsal space for destiny. Before each important meeting, he would close his eyes and experience every detail of his desired outcome. He felt the firmness of handshakes, heard the words of agreement, and experienced the joy of success as if it were already accomplished. Soon, his actual experiences began matching these internal rehearsals with stunning accuracy. The universe, it seemed, could not distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a physical one. Both created patterns of energy that sought completion in the material world. These teachings reveal a fundamental truth. Clarity of vision is the architecture of manifestation. When you imagine with precision and feel with certainty, you create a blueprint that the universe must follow. This is not wishful thinking, but the operation of cosmic law. Ancient practice of creative visualization. Find a quiet space where you will remain undisturbed. Close your eyes and allow your ideal life to unfold before your inner eye. See every detail with crystal clarity, the home you dwell in, the work you do, the relationships you cherish. Notice the textures beneath your fingers, the colors that surround you, the sounds that fill your space. Feel the emotions that arise as you live within this vision. Observe how this reality feels completely natural, as if it already exists. For in truth, it does, on the energetic plane where all manifestation begins. This blueprint now rests in the fertile soil of universal consciousness, taking form beneath the surface of time, awaiting its perfect moment of emergence. Chapter 4. The Law of Vibration and Trust. In the ancient hills beyond the city, there lived a woman named Nora who wove tapestries of extraordinary beauty. Each morning, she would sit at her loom, weaving threads of gold and silver into patterns that seemed to capture light itself. Yet despite her mastery, Nora harbored a restless spirit that often disturbed the very beauty she created. One season, having poured her heart into crafting her finest work yet, Nora began watching the marketplace with anxious eyes. Days passed without a buyer, and her thoughts grew heavy with doubt. With each passing hour, her fingers drummed against the windowsill, her mind racing with worried calculations. The more she focused on the absence of results, the more her inner peace unraveled, like threads pulled loose from her own tapestries. The universe responds not to our words or wishes, but to the unwavering certainty we hold within. When you plant a seed in fertile soil, does the ground require your constant attention to fulfill its purpose? Does the flower bloom faster under the weight of worried observation? In the same valley lived a man named Archie, whose garden flourished with abundance. While others anxiously hovered over their seedlings, Archie simply planted with joy, watered with gratitude, and turned his attention elsewhere. His flowers bloomed in brilliant arrays, his fruit trees bent with the weight of their offerings, not because he demanded their growth, but because he trusted in the natural order of creation. The law of creation operates with perfect precision, like the seasons that turn without hurry, like the moon that waxes and wanes in its own rhythm. Your manifestations unfold according to divine timing. When you place your order with the universe through clear intention and aligned emotion, any subsequent anxiety merely signals to the universal forces that you doubt their efficiency. Think of the last time you mailed a package. Did your worry speed its delivery? Did your concern alter its course? Just as a letter travels its route regardless of your emotional state, your manifestations proceed along their perfect path, requiring only your initial clear direction and then, most crucially, your trust. Your role in the creative process is to set the intention, align your vibration through unwavering belief, and then release your grip on the how and when. This release is not abandonment, but rather a profound statement of faith in the universal order. The ancient practice. Find a quiet moment each day, preferably as the sun rises or sets, when the veil between worlds grows thin. With eyes closed and breath steady, whisper these words of power. I trust the timing of my manifestations. Let this truth settle into your bones. Feel the profound calm that comes with knowing it is already done. In this sacred space of trust, your creation flourishes unseen, like a seed beneath winter snow, waiting for its perfect moment to emerge. Chapter 5. Desire without desperation. Among the ancient streets of a timeless city, two souls sought the same treasure, love. Pearl, a talented musician, yearned for partnership with such fierce intensity that her longing echoed through every note she played. Each evening, she would gaze at couples passing by her window, her heart aching with emptiness. The more desperately she searched for love, the more it seemed to retreat from her grasp, like water slipping through clenched fingers. The universe speaks in the language of energy, and Pearl's vibration sang only of absence. With each desperate prayer for partnership, she unknowingly pushed away the very connection she sought. Her desire had transformed from divine intention into a weight that pulled her beneath waves of lack. In the same city lived Amos, a quiet bookkeeper who carried himself with gentle certainty. He understood a truth as old as time itself, that worthiness needs no proof, and love requires no chase. Each morning he would tend to his small garden, content in his solitude, yet open to companionship. His energy radiated not from hunger, but from wholeness. When you approach the universe from a place of completion rather than emptiness, you become magnetic to that which you seek. Notice how a flower needs not cry out for the butterfly. Its very nature, its sweet nectar and vibrant colors, creates the perfect invitation. The law of attraction responds not to the intensity of wanting, but to the frequency of having. When your energy speaks of desperate need, the universe can only echo that lack back to you. But when your vibration hums with peaceful knowing, when your desire flows from joy rather than vacancy, you align with the natural current of manifestation. Observe the difference. Pearl's longing created resistance, while Amos's acceptance opened pathways. Within months, Amos met his life partner in the most natural of ways, reaching for the same book in his favorite bookshop. Their connection blossomed effortlessly, like spring flowers opening to sunlight. Your desires are divine whispers meant to guide you toward expansion, but when you grasp at them with desperate hands, you transform these sacred seeds into thorns. The art lies in holding your wishes lightly, like delicate butterflies that land only on open palms. The ancient practice. As the day draws to a close, stand before your mirror or beneath the open sky. With clear voice and open heart, speak one desire into existence. Let your words carry not the weight of need, but the lightness of joy. Then, like releasing a dove into flight, set your wish free with a genuine smile. Feel the shift as your energy transforms from grasping to allowing, from hunger to invitation. In this space of peaceful certainty, what you seek begins its journey toward you. Chapter 6. Energy and Influence. In the heart of a bustling marketplace, Opal watched as a merchant named Hassan approached his stall each morning. Before he spoke a word, the entire atmosphere seemed to shift. Customers naturally gravitated toward him, their faces brightening as though touched by an unseen light. Opal noticed this pattern day after day, realizing that Hassan's presence alone transformed the ordinary market into a place of warmth and possibility. The secret lies not in what you project outward, but in the silent conversation you maintain within. Your aura, that invisible field of energy surrounding you, is shaped moment by your inner dialogue. Those who command presence without effort have mastered the art of internal coherence. When your thoughts align with abundance, when your inner speech resonates with certainty, your energy field becomes a magnet that subtly influences all it touches. This is not about controlling others or manipulating circumstances. Rather, it is about achieving such harmony between your inner and outer worlds that reality naturally bends toward your frequency. Consider how Franklin, a quiet bookkeeper, transformed his influence through this very principle. Each morning, he would speak to himself as though he were already the respected advisor he wished to become. "I bring value to every interaction," he would affirm silently. "My presence enriches each moment." He did not force his will upon the world. Instead, he cultivated an inner garden of dignified thoughts. Within weeks, colleagues began seeking his counsel unprompted. During meetings, his suggestions carried unexpected weight. He hadn't changed his external behavior. He had shifted his internal frequency. This mirrors an ancient truth. The world responds not to our words or actions alone, but to the energetic signature we emanate. When your inner dialogue flows with genuine self-worth, when your thoughts sing with authentic power, your mere presence becomes a force of transformation. Your aura is not fixed. It is as changeable as your thoughts. Each moment offers a fresh opportunity to align your inner speech with the energy you wish to embody. This is not about affectations or artificial charm. It is about achieving such deep internal harmony that your presence naturally uplifts and influences. Practice. Set aside one full day to tend the garden of your inner dialogue. Speak only thoughts of abundance, kindness, and power within your mind. Watch how your environment begins to mirror this inner shift. Notice how others respond differently to your presence, how circumstances align more effortlessly with your intentions. This is not magic. It is the natural law of energetic resonance at work. Chapter 7. The Alignment Principle. In a village among ancient hills, Hazel tended her garden with divided attention. One moment, she would nurture her plants with loving care, whispering encouragement to their tender shoots. The next, she would fret about impending storms, her anxiety casting shadows over her flourishing crops. Her harvest reflected this duality, patches of abundance, neighboring areas of scarcity. Your manifestations mirror your internal state with unfailing accuracy. When thoughts splinter between faith and fear, creation itself becomes fragmented. The universe responds not to your wishes, but to your dominant frequency, the consistent note your being strikes against the cosmic chord. True alignment occurs when thought, word, and deed vibrate in perfect harmony. It is a state where your inner conviction matches your outer expression, where your emotional truth resonates with your stated intention. This synchronicity creates a clear channel through which universal energy flows unimpeded. Walter, a humble craftsman, discovered this truth through his daily practice. Each morning, before touching his tools, he would center himself in complete presence. "I am ready," he would declare, not as a hollow affirmation, but as recognition of his true state. He allowed these words to permeate every cell, every breath, every movement. The power lay not in the words themselves, but in the perfect alignment between his declaration and his inner knowing. As days passed, his readiness transformed from assertion to reality. His work gained a quality of mastery that seemed to flow from an inexhaustible source. This alignment is not about forcing positivity or suppressing doubt. Rather, it calls for emotional honesty, a willing acknowledgement of where you truly stand. When fear arises, acknowledge its presence without letting it divide your focus. When faith blooms, allow it to fill every corner of your being. The universe responds to wholeness, not fragmentation. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions align like instruments in perfect tune, Reality shapes itself around this harmony. This is the secret of those who manifest with seeming ease. They have learned to maintain a single, pure frequency of being. Ancient practice. Select one goal that beckons your spirit. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. For 3 complete breaths, allow your heart, mind, and body to vibrate as one with this intention. Feel how your entire being aligns with this single purpose, like a compass, finding true north. In this moment of perfect alignment, you become a clear channel for manifestation. Chapter 8. The Law of Self-Worth. In the bustling heart of a merchant's quarter, Delia moved with relentless determination. From dawn until dusk, her hands wove tapestries of exquisite beauty, yet each masterpiece sold brought only temporary comfort. Though customers praised her artistry, prosperity seemed to slip through her fingers like water through loosely woven cloth. You may notice this pattern in your own life. The harder you strive, the more elusive lasting abundance becomes. This reveals a fundamental truth of manifestation. Your outer world will always align with your inner sense of worth. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, cannot deliver what you believe you do not deserve. When you chase success while harboring feelings of unworthiness, you create a split current in the cosmic flow. One stream pulls toward abundance, while another pushes it away. This division explains why some find their fortunes rising and falling like tides, never reaching stable shores. The ancient masters understood that manifestation flows not from action alone, but from the foundation of self-worth upon which all action rests. Your beliefs about your value form the invisible template that shapes all material outcomes. In a quiet corner of the same quarter lived Milo, a humble merchant whose small shop never seemed to want for customers. Each morning, before opening his doors, he would stand before his mirror and greet his reflection as one might greet a cherished friend. "You are worthy of all good things," he would say, his eyes soft with genuine acceptance. This simple ritual transformed more than his mood. It altered the very fabric of his reality. His business flourished not because he worked harder than others, but because his sense of worth created a stable foundation for abundance to rest upon. The universe responds not to your hustle, but to your self-image. When you truly know your worth, you need not chase success. It naturally flows toward you, drawn by the magnetic force of self-value. This is not vanity, but rather an alignment with the truth of your divine nature. Ancient practice. Find a mirror in a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Look into your own eyes with gentle acceptance. Speak these words with quiet authority. I am already enough to receive abundance. Let this truth settle into your being, not as a wish, but as a recognition of what has always been true. Feel how this acknowledgement ripples outward, adjusting the frequency of your entire field to match your inherent worth. Chapter 9. The Silent Magnet of Gratitude. In a small mountain village, Edith toiled endlessly in her textile shop, her fingers calloused from countless hours of weaving. Each evening, she would count her meager earnings with a heavy heart, wondering why abundance eluded her despite her relentless labor. The weight of resentment grew heavier with each passing day, until it seemed to weave itself into every thread she touched. One morning, as sunlight filtered through her workshop window, Edith noticed how it transformed ordinary dust motes into dancing specks of gold. For the first time in years, she paused to marvel at this simple beauty. Something stirred within her, a forgotten warmth. She began finding moments of appreciation, the smooth glide of her shuttle, the intricate patterns emerging beneath her fingers, the satisfied smiles of her customers. As Edith cultivated gratitude, the universe responded in whispers. A traveling merchant praised her unique designs. A noble lady commissioned special orders. Her small moments of appreciation had planted seeds that grew into opportunities, proving that gratitude holds the power to transform scarcity into abundance. In the same village lived Vernon, a farmer known for his peculiar habit of thanking the weather, regardless of its temperament. During a season of heavy rains that threatened to destroy crops, while other farmers cursed the skies, Vernon stood in his fields, smiling. "Thank you for nourishing my land," he would say, even as others warned of flooding. When harvest time arrived, a curious thing had occurred. Vernon's crops thrived, their roots strengthened by the very rains others had cursed. His gratitude had attuned him to hidden blessings, allowing him to work in harmony with what others resisted. His fields yielded abundance, while others struggled to salvage their harvest. These tales illuminate an eternal truth. Gratitude is not merely a response to abundance. It is the very frequency that attracts it. When you say thank you, you declare, "I have," to the universe. This declaration, born of genuine appreciation, opens channels through which more blessings can flow. The law of gratitude operates with mathematical precision. Each thank you creates a positive charge in your energy field, magnetizing similar experiences. This is why the wealthy often become wealthier. Their appreciation for what they have creates an energetic invitation for more. Ancient practice. As this day draws to a close, select one situation in your life that remains unresolved. It might be a financial goal, a healing you seek, or a relationship you wish to improve. Sit quietly and feel sincere gratitude for this situation as though it has already been perfectly resolved. Let appreciation fill your heart until it feels real in your body. This practice bridges the gap between desire and manifestation, for gratitude is the language of completion. Chapter 10. Wealth of Being. In the bustling heart of a city filled with glittering storefronts, Lottie pressed her palm against cold glass, gazing at designer handbags she couldn't afford. Each day she would window shop, collecting images of luxury in her mind while her bank account remained empty. The more she yearned for these symbols of wealth, the more hollow she felt inside. One afternoon, exhausted from wanting, Lottie found herself in a quiet garden. As she watched sunlight dance on a fountain's spray, a strange peace washed over her. In that moment, she realized she had been searching for richness in reflections rather than source. She began to notice the wealth already present in her awareness, the symphony of birdsong, the whisper of wind, the warmth of sunlight on her skin. These simple treasures required no purchase, yet filled her with a satisfaction no designer label had ever provided. As Lottie cultivated this inner abundance, an unexpected shift occurred. Her creative work began attracting attention. Opportunities appeared like morning dew, naturally, effortlessly. The very items she had once pressed against glass to see now found their way to her, though they no longer held the same urgency. She had discovered a deeper current of wealth, one that flowed from within. In a modest cottage on the outskirts of town lived Boyd, a craftsman who shaped wood into beautiful forms. His home contained few possessions, yet visitors often remarked on feeling inexplicably enriched in his presence. Boyd had mastered the art of being complete within himself. His contentment radiated like warmth from a hearth, drawing to him far more than his simple lifestyle might suggest. When asked about his secret, Boyd would smile and say, "I own nothing, yet everything belongs to me. The sunrise paints my morning in gold. The stars adorn my evening in diamonds." His wealth wasn't counted in coins, but in moments of pure appreciation. This inner fulfillment magnetized external abundance naturally, like flowers turning toward sunlight. These stories unveil an ageless truth. Prosperity is not a sum in your accounts, but a state of your being. True wealth flows from the recognition of the abundance that already exists within your consciousness. When you radiate the frequency of fulfillment, the universe responds by matching your inner richness with outer manifestation. Ancient practice. Find a quiet space and bring your attention to your breath, the first currency of creation. Feel the richness of each inhale, the abundance of life force flowing through you. Let gratitude rise for this simple yet precious exchange. Your breath connects you to the infinite supply of the universe. In this awareness lies the seed of all material wealth. This practice, passed down through generations of wisdom keepers, aligns you with the original source of abundance. Part 2. The Master Keys of Manifestation. Chapter 11. The Seed and the Soil. In a small valley between ancient hills, Gloria tended her garden with meticulous care. Each morning she would inspect the soil, removing stones and weeds that might hinder growth. Yet while her physical garden flourished, her life remained barren of the abundance she sought. One day, as she turned the rich earth with her hands, understanding blossomed within her. Just as her garden required specific conditions to thrive, so too did the seeds of her thoughts need proper nurturing. She began to see how her mind, like soil, held infinite potential, but its fertility depended on what she allowed to take root. The universe operates through immutable laws, as constant as the seasons. Your thoughts, planted in the fertile ground of your subconscious mind, will inevitably sprout into manifestation. But the quality of soil determines the harvest. Fear, doubt, and worry are like rocks and thorns that choke the tender shoots of possibility. Faith, certainty, and gratitude enrich the soil of your mind, creating perfect conditions for abundance to grow. In a nearby village lived Timmy, a young boy who grasped this truth instinctively. Each morning and evening he would whisper to himself, "I am blessed with wisdom and success." He treated these affirmations as carefully as seedlings, protecting them from the frost of doubt and watering them with unwavering belief. Soon his teachers noticed his exceptional progress. Opportunities for advanced learning appeared unexpectedly. What others called miracles, Timmy understood as natural harvest from well-tended thoughts. His pure faith had prepared perfect conditions for manifestation. The subconscious mind mirrors the depths of earth itself, mysterious, potent, and responsive to what we plant within it. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every belief you hold takes root in this fertile ground. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, does not judge these seeds. It simply provides the conditions for growth. Your task is not to force the harvest, but to cultivate the proper environment. When you fill your mind with thoughts of lack, you create soil too acidic for abundance to grow. But when you nurture thoughts of prosperity and gratitude, you prepare the ground for infinite possibilities. Ancient practice. Close your eyes and speak these words with the certainty of a master gardener. My mind is divine soil. I plant only prosperous ideas. Feel these words sink deep into the rich earth of your consciousness. Imagine your subconscious mind as sacred ground, growing lush and green with the seeds of prosperous thoughts. Let this affirmation take root in the fertile soil of your being, knowing that each repetition strengthens its power to manifest. Chapter 12. The Wealth Pattern. Ruth watched from her window each morning as her neighbor strolled through his garden, humming softly, regardless of weather or circumstance. While she battled constant waves of uncertainty in her business ventures, his prosperity seemed as natural as breathing. His very presence carried an unmistakable air of quiet certainty. The difference lay not in their actions, but in their assumptions. Those who manifest with ease understand a truth that has echoed through millennia. The outer world arranges itself to match your innermost expectations. The wealthy elite do not hope for success. They assume it as naturally as you assume the sun will rise. Your default assumptions form the backbone of your reality. When you assume struggle, the universe provides experiences that validate that assumption. When you assume ease, circumstances align accordingly. This is not magic, but law, as constant as gravity, as reliable as the tides. In a distant village lived Hermann, who understood this principle intuitively. Though his pockets were empty, he carried himself with the quiet dignity of abundance. Each morning, he would dress in his cleanest clothes and walk through town as if prosperity already embraced him. He didn't pretend or deceive. He simply assumed wealth as his natural state. Gradually, opportunities began appearing. A chance meeting led to a profitable partnership. A forgotten skill became suddenly valuable. Those around him marveled at his luck, but Hermann knew. He had simply aligned himself with the rhythm of prosperity through unwavering assumption. The universe responds not to what you wish for, but to what you expect with certainty. Your assumptions create a frequency, a vibration that attracts corresponding circumstances. The elite maintain their position not through superior skill or fortune, but through an unshakable assumption of success. This truth reveals why affirmations alone often fail to manifest desired outcomes. Words spoken against a background of doubt cannot override your deeper assumptions. True transformation occurs when you alter your basic assumptions about life, about yourself, about what's possible. Each assumption you hold acts as a command to the universal field of infinite possibility. Your task is not to fight against current circumstances, but to assume new patterns with such natural confidence that the universe has no choice but to reflect them back to you. Ancient practice. Notice what fears arise in your mind today. As each one surfaces, pause and consciously replace it with these words: success is my natural pattern. Don't force belief. Simply allow this new assumption to settle into your consciousness like dew absorbing into morning earth. Let it become as natural as breathing, as automatic as your heartbeat. In this gentle persistence lies the secret rhythm of manifestation. Chapter 13. The Power of Expectation. Every morning, Winifred would check her mailbox with a subtle tension in her shoulders, already braced for bills and rejections. Though she spoke of hope, her body told a different story, one of anticipated disappointment. The universe, ever attentive to these subtle signals, faithfully delivered what she unconsciously commanded. Here lies a truth that is whispered through the ages. Expectation is not merely a passive state of mind, but an active force that shapes the fabric of reality. When you expect with certainty, you transmit a clear frequency into the universal field. This frequency becomes a magnet, drawing to you circumstances that match its precise vibration. Those who seem blessed by fortune have mastered this law, often without conscious awareness. They do not hope for good outcomes. They expect them with such natural conviction that the universe bends to meet their assumption. Take Clyde, who transformed his dreary morning commute through this ancient wisdom. Instead of dreading traffic, he began each journey expecting moments of joy. Soon, green lights welcomed him. Kind drivers let him merge. Favorite songs played on the radio. His colleagues noticed his arrival carried a different energy. He emerged from his car buoyant rather than burdened. Some called it coincidence, but Clyde had simply aligned himself with a fundamental law of creation. Expectation is the proof that belief has taken root in fertile soil. When you genuinely expect something, doubt dissolves. Your entire being aligns with that expectation, sending clear signals into the field of infinite possibility. This is why casual wishes often remain unfulfilled, while deep expectations manifest with surprising precision. Your expectations reveal what you truly believe is possible. They are the invisible commands you send forth every moment, shaping tomorrow's experiences. The elite understand this instinctively. They expect success not because they are special, but because they have trained their expectations through repeated experience. Yet this power lies dormant within all beings, waiting to be awakened through conscious direction of expectation. Ancient practice. Select one event approaching in the coming week, a meeting, an encounter, a task you must complete. Rather than allowing habit to set your expectations, consciously choose to expect delight, not as a forced positive thinking exercise, but as a natural state of anticipation. Let your expectation of joy be as natural as expecting the ground to support your next step. Hold this expectation gently but firmly, regardless of what appears. Watch with quiet fascination as reality arranges itself to match the clarity of your expectation. For in this simple practice lies one of the great secrets of manifestation. What you truly expect, you inevitably experience. Before we get into the next chapter, you can download a free ebook version of this audiobook using the link in the pinned comment below this video. Chapter 14. Momentum of Thought. Along a winding mountain path, Agnes carried her basket of herbs, muttering affirmations under her breath. "Abundance flows to me, prosperity surrounds me," she whispered, yet her stomach knotted with each thought of unpaid debts. Though she had learned the art of positive thinking, worry crept back like shadows at dusk, undoing her practiced optimism. The ancient laws reveal a truth often overlooked. The power lies not in occasional bright thoughts, but in the momentum of sustained focus. Just as a river carves through stone not by force but by constant flow, so too does mental energy shape reality through persistence rather than intensity. Your thoughts gather strength like a rolling stone, accumulating power with each turn. When you allow worry to interrupt your creative vision, it is as though you place obstacles in your path, forcing you to begin the momentum anew. This is why fleeting positive thoughts, though well-intentioned, often fail to manifest lasting change. Consider Harold, the humble potter, who once struggled with scattered focus. Each morning, he would shape his clay with visions of success, only to let doubt seep in by midday. His creations, like his thoughts, emerged uneven and uncertain. Then he learned the art of mental persistence. Harold began treating his thoughts like the clay on his wheel. Whenever they wobbled off center, he would gently guide them back to perfect spin. Hour after hour, day after day, he maintained his focus on excellence and abundance. Soon his pots emerged flawless, and galleries sought his work. His prosperity grew not from sporadic inspiration, but from the unwavering momentum of his concentrated attention. The universe responds not to the occasional brilliant flash of faith, but to the steady beam of sustained belief. A single arrow of focused intention flies further than a scatter of hopeful thoughts. When you maintain mental momentum, you create a force that sweeps aside resistance and clears the path to manifestation. Your power lies in your ability to redirect attention. Each time your mind drifts toward lack or limitation, guide it back to abundance with the same patient persistence of a shepherd leading his flock home. Through this practice, you build mental momentum that becomes unstoppable. Sacred practice. When you notice your thoughts sliding into doubt or worry, pause. Take one conscious breath. Then speak these words with quiet authority. Momentum now serves my miracle. Feel the power of your redirected focus gathering strength, like a mighty river changing course. This is the ancient art of mental mastery, not fighting negative thoughts, but channeling their energy into the service of your highest vision. Chapter 15. The Science of Letting Go. In the heart of a bustling marketplace, Beatrice clutched her dreams like precious gems, her knuckles white with determination. Each morning she recited her wishes with fierce intensity, growing more desperate as weeks turned to months, without visible change. Her desires, a thriving business, a loving partnership, abundant wealth, became heavy burdens she carried, rather than seeds planted in fertile soil. The universe responds not to the force of your grip, but to the power of your trust. When you hold too tightly to what you wish to manifest, you create resistance in the very fabric of creation. This resistance stems from a fundamental misunderstanding, that control equals power. Think of the breath, life's most essential rhythm. You cannot force the next breath by holding on to the current one. The natural order requires both inhale and exhale, give and receive, hold and release. This same principle governs all manifestation. Your role is not to clutch your desires until they materialize, but to plant them with certainty and allow them space to grow. In the quiet hills beyond the city, Floyd discovered this truth through simple observation. Each evening, he would speak his intentions to the setting sun, then turn away with the same peaceful certainty that tomorrow would bring another dawn. He never doubted the sun's return, never spent hours wondering if light would pierce the darkness. His requests to the universe carried this same quiet confidence, spoken once, released completely, received in divine timing. The difference between Beatrice's exhaustion and Floyd's ease lay not in the worthiness of their desires, but in their relationship with trust. Beatrice's tight grip reflected a hidden belief that she must force manifestation through sheer will. Floyd's gentle release demonstrated his understanding that the universe requires no supervision to fulfill its promises. When you squeeze a handful of sand, it escapes through your fingers. Open your palm, and it rests there peacefully. Your desires follow the same principle. They are not made real through forced concentration, but through aligned allowing. The moment you truly release your attachment to how and when your manifestation will appear, you open the channel for its arrival. Remember, the universe does not require your exhaustion to deliver your good. It asks only for your trust, your clarity, and your willingness to release. Ancient practice. Find a quiet moment and create a sphere of golden light in your mind's eye. Take your deepest desire and place it gently into this light. See it suspended there, perfect and complete. Now turn and walk away, knowing that what is yours cannot miss you. Feel the lightness in your step, the peace in your heart. This is the vibration of true allowing, the final key that unlocks manifestation's door. Chapter 16. The Joy Formula. In the bustling marketplace of life, where so many chase success with furrowed brows and tense shoulders, Cora discovered a truth that would transform her path. While others plotted elaborate strategies, she noticed something remarkable. Her greatest achievements always coincided with her moments of genuine joy. The law at work here speaks to a fundamental truth. The universe responds more swiftly to the vibration of happiness than to the energy of striving. When Cora presented proposals with light-hearted enthusiasm, doors opened effortlessly. When she approached challenges with playful curiosity rather than grave determination, solutions emerged naturally. This is not mere coincidence, but cosmic mathematics. Joy operates at a higher frequency than calculation, moving through the fabric of reality with remarkable speed. Like electricity choosing the path of least resistance, abundance flows most readily through channels of genuine delight. In the quiet streets of an old town, Nelson proved this principle through an unconventional approach. Each morning, before opening his small bookshop, he would stand before his mirror and laugh, not from humor, but from choice. He made mirth his morning ritual, as others might make coffee theirs. Within months, his revenue doubled. His customers, drawn to the atmosphere of lightness in his shop, lingered longer and purchased more. His suppliers offered better terms, charmed by his cheerful demeanor. The secret lies not in forcing false positivity, but in understanding that joy is the natural state of an aligned being. When you move through your day with authentic happiness, you slip into the slipstream of universal abundance. Your light mood becomes a magnetic force, drawing opportunities that heavy thinking might have repelled. Think of how children attract attention and affection without effort. Their natural joy is irresistible. This same principle operates in the realm of manifestation. When you release the weight of strategic planning and embrace the lightness of joyful being, you accelerate the manifestation process exponentially. The universe delights in fulfilling desires that arise from joy rather than need. When your actions spring from happiness rather than calculation, you tap into the most powerful current of creation. This is not about denying the value of planning, but about recognizing that joy is the ultimate efficiency. Ancient practice. Step away from your plans and predictions. Choose one action today that serves no purpose except to kindle your joy. Dance in your living room, sing in your car, draw with colored pencils, or walk barefoot in grass. Make no attempt to justify or monetize this moment. Let it exist purely for the pleasure it brings. Notice how this seemingly purposeless joy begins to magnetize unexpected blessings. In this simple practice lies a profound truth. When you choose happiness first, prosperity follows naturally. Chapter 17. The Law of Clarity. In the heart of a bustling marketplace, Irene wandered from stall to stall, picking up items only to set them down moments later. Her desires shifted like clouds across the sky. Now a silk scarf caught her eye, then a leather-bound journal, followed by aromatic spices. Each time she reached for something, another object diverted her attention. At day's end, she returned home empty-handed, her mind as scattered as autumn leaves in the wind. The universe responds to clarity with clarity, to confusion with confusion. When your thoughts meander without direction, reality mirrors this wandering. Think of light passing through a lens. Unfocused, it creates a dim wash of illumination. But when concentrated, it ignites fire. Your intentions operate by the same principle. Your thoughts are transmissions of energy, precise frequencies that the universe receives and reflects. Each wavering thought dilutes the signal, while each clear intention strengthens it. The wealthy and wise understand this. They do not wish vaguely for more money, but envision specific outcomes with unwavering attention. Earl, a quiet craftsman, discovered this truth through his daily practice. Each morning, he would sit at his wooden desk and write his intentions with exquisite detail. Not merely success, but a workshop filled with students learning the art of wood carving, their eyes bright with understanding. He felt the smooth grain of the wood beneath his fingers, heard the gentle scraping of tools, and breathed in the sweet scent of cedar. Within months, his vision materialized exactly as he had written it. The universe does not speak the language of maybe or somewhat. It responds to the crystal clarity of exactly this. When you transmit precise frequencies of thought and feeling, the universe has no choice but to answer with matching precision. This is not magic, but mathematics, the exact science of energetic resonance. Your power lies not in hoping, but in knowing exactly what you desire. The difference between "I want to be successful" and "I serve 50 clients monthly, earning $10,000 while working 4 days a week" is the difference between a wish and a command. The universe cannot fulfill vague requests any more than a restaurant can serve you some kind of food. Tonight, before you rest, craft one sentence that captures your vision with diamond-like clarity. Feel it vibrating in every cell of your body as an accomplished fact. Let this clear signal be the last thought you transmit before sleep, and watch as the universe aligns its infinite resources to match your precision. Ancient practice. Draw your awareness to complete stillness. In this sacred silence, speak aloud one sentence that defines your clearest vision. Feel its reality pulse through your being, as if already manifested. Let this be your final thought as you drift into sleep, allowing the fertile night to nurture your precise intention. Chapter 18. The Circle of Receiving. In a quiet village among rolling hills, Edna's heart overflowed with generosity. Her garden yielded the sweetest tomatoes, which she shared freely with neighbors. Her kitchen produced aromatic breads that found their way to every local celebration. Yet when others praised her gifts, she would wave away their words, saying, "Oh, it's nothing special," or "Please, don't mention it." The universe operates through cycles of giving and receiving. Like breath itself, inhale must follow exhale. When you interrupt this sacred dance by refusing to receive, you create resistance in the flow of abundance. Each declined compliment, each deflected appreciation, places a stone in the river of prosperity. The ancient wisdom teaches that receptivity holds equal importance to generosity. Those who master manifestation understand that gracefully accepting praise, love, and abundance completes an energetic circuit. Without this completion, the current cannot flow freely. This truth revealed itself through Greg, a talented musician who played at the village square. Initially, when listeners dropped coins in his case or offered kind words about his music, he would look away uncomfortably or mumble dismissively. His earnings remained meager, barely covering his needs. One day, an old sage sat listening to his melody. "Your music touches souls," the sage said, "but you block its rewards." He taught Greg to look into the eyes of each person who offered appreciation and say with genuine feeling, "Thank you, I receive your kindness." As Greg practiced this simple act of receptivity, something shifted. His case filled more abundantly. Opportunities to play at grander venues appeared. The universe responded to his willingness to complete the circle of giving and receiving. The law stands clear. Abundance flows in completed circuits. When you give freely but refuse to receive, you create an energetic dam. True prosperity requires both the outward flow of generosity and the inward flow of receptivity. Each thank you, spoken with authentic gratitude, becomes a key, unlocking greater channels of abundance. This ancient truth whispers through every exchange. The power lies not just in giving, but in the sacred dance of receiving. When you accept appreciation with grace, you declare to the universe, "I am worthy of abundance." This declaration sets in motion waves of prosperity that continue to flow and grow. Like Greg, you must complete the circle. Your ability to receive mirrors your capacity to manifest. Each time you accept praise, appreciation, or abundance with an open heart, you strengthen the current of prosperity in your life. Practice for manifesting flow. When appreciation arrives today, breathe fully and respond, "I joyfully receive." Chapter 19. The Silent Force of Belief. In the heart of an ancient marketplace, Flora spent years perfecting her craft as a weaver. Each morning she would arrive before dawn, working tirelessly at her loom, believing that only through relentless labor could she achieve mastery. Yet despite her dedication, her tapestries remained ordinary, while across the square an elderly weaver created masterpieces with half the effort. When you direct all energy toward physical striving while doubting the outcome, you exhaust yourself swimming against the current of creation. The universe responds not to the intensity of labor, but to the unwavering certainty within. This is the hidden truth that separates those who struggle from those who seem blessed by fortune. Belief transcends effort because it operates at the level of cause rather than effect. When you truly believe, you align with the creative force that shapes reality itself. This alignment transforms what appears impossible into the inevitable. The wealthy understand this instinctively. Their certainty of success precedes their actions, making their efforts exponentially more potent. Consider Marvin, a merchant who had lost everything in a storm. While others counseled caution, he maintained an unshakable knowing that abundance would return. He moved through his days with the quiet confidence of someone already restored to prosperity. When questioned about his optimism, he simply smiled, knowing that doubt was a luxury he could not afford. Within months, opportunities emerged that defied probability. A forgotten debt was repaid, a chance encounter led to a profitable partnership, and his small investments multiplied beyond reason. The universe seemed to rearrange itself to match his inner conviction. The law remains constant. Belief is not wishful thinking, but a creative force that bends reality to its shape. When you elevate your certainty above your circumstances, circumstances must elevate to meet your certainty. This is not magic, but mathematics at the highest level, the calculus of consciousness itself. Your belief system is your operating system. No amount of external effort can overcome internal doubt. Yet when belief becomes unshakable, even minimal action yields maximum results. This is why some achieve with grace what others fail to accomplish with exhaustion. The secret lies not in believing harder, but in releasing resistance to what you claim to believe. Let your certainty rest in the same place as your knowledge that the sun will rise. This quiet knowing, free from the need to convince yourself or others, becomes a magnetic force that draws manifestation naturally. Practice for inner certainty. Repeat until it feels calm. My belief makes it real. Trust the stillness afterward. Chapter 20. The Quantum Mirror. In a small village among ancient hills, Phoebe noticed an unusual pattern. Each morning as she walked to her modest shop, the world seemed to dance in harmony with her inner state. On days her heart felt light, customers arrived with smiles and synchronicities unfolded effortlessly. When worry clouded her thoughts, delays and difficulties materialized like shadows at dusk. This is the way of universal energy, a truth as old as consciousness itself. Your thoughts and emotions are not mere whispers in the void. They are the architects of experience. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, operates as a living mirror, reflecting back the precise frequency of your being. Through countless ages, mystics and quantum physicists have arrived at the same truth. Reality is more flexible than it appears. Matter itself responds to consciousness, bending and flowing like liquid glass around the shape of your expectations. This is not magic, but natural law, as reliable as gravity, as consistent as the dawn. Consider how a lake reflects the sky above. When the heavens are stormy, the water shows turbulence. When clouds part to reveal blue expanse, the lake becomes a mirror of serenity. Your consciousness operates by the same principle, casting its reflection into the material world. Leonard, a baker in the village square, discovered this truth through laughter. Each morning, he chose joy as his companion, greeting the dawn with genuine mirth. Soon he noticed his happiness returning to him multiplied, in the form of fortunate encounters, unexpected gifts, and abundant opportunities. The world, he would say, is simply showing me my own face. This mirror of consciousness operates with mathematical precision. A smile sent into the universe returns tenfold. A kind thought ripples outward, touching countless lives before flowing back to its source. Even in moments of challenge, this law remains constant, leading many to realize that changing their circumstances begins with shifting their inner state. The great mystery schools of antiquity taught this wisdom through symbols and ceremonies. Today it stands unveiled. Your consciousness is the creator of your experience. Each thought, each feeling, each subtle shift in your awareness sends waves through the fabric of reality. When you understand this truth, you hold the key to transformation. No longer are you a passive observer of life's unfolding. You become its conscious composer. The power lies not in forcing change through external action, but in aligning your inner state with the reality you wish to experience. Before you rest tonight, pause to examine how your day mirrored your consciousness. Notice the subtle ways events aligned with your expectations and emotions. Then, with deliberate intent, send gratitude into this cosmic mirror. Feel appreciation for the perfect reflection of tomorrow's joy already taking shape in the infinite field of possibility. This practice, simple yet profound, activates the silent force of belief, turning the mirror of reality toward the light of your highest vision. Part 3. The Elite Mindset Embodied. Chapter 21. The Secret of Ease. In the quiet mountain village, Sylvia watched the old potter shape clay with such fluid grace that his hands seemed to dance rather than work. Day after day, she marveled at how his masterpieces emerged without strain or struggle. While others pushed and wrestled with their clay, his vessels arose as naturally as flowers opening to the sun. The universe moves with this same effortless grace. When you align with its flow, creation unfolds without force or friction. Like water finding its path downhill, manifestation follows the way of least resistance. What appears as magic to others is simply the natural state of being. Those who have mastered the art of creation understand that strain negates power. They know that the universal forces do the real work. Their role is simply to allow. This wisdom revealed itself to Chester, who once believed success required constant struggle. He pushed against every door, fought through every challenge, until exhaustion left him no choice but to surrender. In that moment of release, something extraordinary happened. The very opportunities he had strained to create began appearing effortlessly before him. Chester discovered that calm certainty accomplishes more than desperate action. When he stopped forcing outcomes, they materialized with unexpected ease. His business flourished not through increased effort, but through decreased resistance. Clients who had seemed unreachable suddenly reached out to him. Projects that had stalled began flowing smoothly. The universe responds not to the intensity of your effort, but to the clarity of your alignment. When you trust in the power that orchestrates galaxies, you need not manipulate every detail. Your role is to hold the vision and allow the infinite intelligence to arrange the pieces. Think of how effortlessly your heart beats, your lungs breathe, your cells regenerate. The same force that manages these miracles without your conscious involvement stands ready to manifest your desires. But you must first release the need to control the process. The secret lies in relaxation. not the passive relaxation of inertia, but the active relaxation of trust. When you truly understand that universal energy does the heavy lifting, you can finally ease your grip on the steering wheel of life. Practice. Settle into a comfortable position and take a deep breath. As you inhale, whisper to yourself, "It's already moving." Feel the truth of these words dissolve any tension about your desires. Let relief bloom within you like a luxurious flower opening its petals. Allow this feeling to remind you that the universe is already orchestrating your good, requiring nothing from you but acceptance. Chapter 22. Decision, the missing ingredient. In the bustling market square, Hattie stood frozen between two merchant stalls, her indecision visible in her furrowed brow. One offered silk threads of crimson and gold, the other precious dyes from distant shores. As days passed into weeks, she lingered between possibilities until both merchants packed their wares and departed, leaving her with neither. This pattern repeated in all areas of her existence. Should she open her store in the East or West District? Should she specialize in fabrics or finished garments? Each option seemed to hold equal promise, and fear of choosing wrongly kept her suspended in possibility rather than grounded in choice. The universe responds to decisiveness with immediate action. When you make a clear choice, you send a precise frequency into the field of infinite possibility. This vibrational clarity acts as a contract with creation itself, commanding all forces to align with your decision. Your power lies not in having endless options, but in choosing one and infusing it with unwavering focus. Each moment spent in indecision diffuses your creative energy, scattering it across multiple timelines that can never materialize simultaneously. Boyd, a humble carpenter, discovered this truth when he finally chose to specialize in crafting fine furniture instead of continuing as a general woodworker. The moment he made this firm decision, his entire world began to shift. Opportunities appeared as if by magic. A master craftsman offered apprenticeship, wealthy patrons sought his work, and even the finest wood suppliers began offering him first choice of their materials. His decision acted as a signal to the universe, declaring, "This is my path." All the energy previously scattered across multiple possibilities now flowed in a single powerful direction. His choice became a lens, focusing the light of creation into a beam strong enough to manifest his vision. The most powerful forces in nature are those that flow in one direction. A river carved the Grand Canyon not by changing course, but by maintaining a single path over time. Your decisions hold this same power. They cut through uncertainty and create channels for manifestation to flow. When you waver between dreams, you tell the universe you're not ready to receive. But when you make a clear choice, you declare your readiness for manifestation. The universe cannot deliver to an undefined address. Decision provides the precise coordinates for your desires to materialize. Ancient practice. Find a quiet moment and center yourself. Identify one area where you've been wavering between options. Draw a deep breath and make your choice, not from fear or pressure, but from the quiet knowing in your heart. Then, with calm certainty, announce inwardly, "I choose." Feel the power of these words resonating through the fabric of creation. Trust that the universe has heard every syllable of your decision and is already moving to align circumstances with your choice. Chapter 23. the energy of luxury. In the heart of the bustling city, Ruthie wandered through gleaming boutiques, her eyes fixed on price tags that seemed to mock her desires. Each item she coveted felt like a testament to what she lacked, until one morning, something shifted in her awareness. Sitting in her modest apartment, sunlight streaming through gauzy curtains, she noticed how the light transformed ordinary dust motes into floating diamonds. The warmth on her skin felt like silk. The air carried traces of jasmine from her neighbor's window box. In that moment, she understood, luxury wasn't waiting in store windows, but in her capacity to experience richness in every breath. The secret of abundance flows from your relationship with the present moment. When you train yourself to experience life's inherent opulence, you align with the frequency of wealth itself. This alignment transforms your energy field into a magnet for material abundance. True wealth begins in your sensory awareness. The universe provides endless opportunities for luxurious experience in the texture of morning light, the symphony of rainfall, the caress of a gentle breeze. These moments of sensory richness tune your vibration to natural abundance. Gilbert, who lived in a small cottage on the outskirts of town, discovered this truth through his morning ritual. Each day, he would prepare his coffee with the reverence of a tea master. He noticed the rich aroma rising from the cup, felt the warmth seeping through the ceramic, observed the swirling patterns of cream meeting dark liquid. Without spending an extra coin, he experienced luxury in its purest form. As his appreciation for these simple pleasures deepened, his life began reflecting this inner wealth. Opportunities arose, resources multiplied, and abundance flowed, not because he chased it, but because he had mastered the art of feeling wealthy in his current reality. When you cultivate rich awareness, you speak the language of abundance fluently. Every sensation becomes an opportunity to experience luxury. This is not mere positive thinking. It is energetic alignment with the natural state of prosperity that surrounds you. The universe responds not to your wishes for wealth, but to your current relationship with abundance. When you train yourself to experience the luxury inherent in each moment, you naturally attract more expressions of that abundance into your physical reality. Ancient practice. Take your next sip of water as if it were the finest champagne ever crafted. Feel its perfect temperature. Notice its clarity. Appreciate how it refreshes your entire being. Let gratitude rise for this simple yet profound luxury. In this moment of mindful appreciation, you align with the frequency of abundance itself. The universe notices this vibration and responds accordingly, multiplying the expressions of wealth in your experience. Chapter 24. The Still Point of Power. In a world of endless noise and activity, Marion found herself pulled in countless directions. Her thoughts raced like autumn leaves in a windstorm, each demanding attention, each promising the path to success. She chased every opportunity, responded to every call, until exhaustion left her empty-handed. One morning, instead of rushing to her phone, she sat quietly in her garden. As the morning mist lifted, something within her settled. In that unexpected stillness, she discovered a voice clearer than any external guidance, the whisper of inner knowing. The art of manifestation flows not from constant motion, but from the space between thoughts. This sacred stillness serves as the command center of creation, where intention crystallizes into form. When you access this quiet core, you tap into the infinite intelligence that orchestrates the universe itself. Your mind, in its natural state of peace, becomes a clear channel through which divine guidance flows. This is not mere rest. It is attunement to the frequency of wisdom that precedes all successful action. In stillness, you receive the coordinates of your next inspired move. Ned, a merchant known for his uncanny business sense, embodied this truth without fanfare. Before making any decision, whether small or significant, he would pause. In those moments of quiet, answers arose not from analysis, but from a deeper knowing. His colleagues marveled at his timing, unaware that his success flowed from these moments of sacred stillness. The universe speaks in silence. Its messages arrive not in shouts, but in subtle impressions that only a quiet mind can receive. When you learn to operate from this still center, manifestation becomes effortless, not because you work less, but because each action carries the power of aligned wisdom. Your relationship with silence determines your relationship with success. When scattered thoughts dissolve into stillness, you access the original source of creation. This is not inaction, but rather the foundation of enlightened action. Before sending that important email, making that crucial call, or stepping into that meeting, pause. Let silence be your first advisor. In that space, free from the chaos of reactive thinking, you receive clear direction. The universe's guidance system activates in stillness, delivering precise instructions for manifestation. Ancient practice. Before taking any action today, close your eyes for 10 seconds and let silence write your move. Feel the stillness wash through you, clearing the static of scattered thoughts. Wait for that subtle nudge of knowing. It arrives like a gentle breeze, carrying wisdom more precise than any calculated plan. This momentary pause connects you to the infinite intelligence that orchestrates all success. Chapter 25. The Reality of Abundance. In a bustling marketplace, Virginia counted her coins obsessively, tracking every transaction in her leather-bound ledger. Each evening, she would tally her day's earnings, believing wealth existed only in measurable quantities. Yet one autumn morning, as golden leaves showered from above, she witnessed an extraordinary sight. A mighty oak released thousands of acorns, each containing the blueprint for forests untold. The scene touched something deep within her soul. In that moment, she understood. Nature knows no scarcity. Every seed carries the potential for endless multiplication. The universe operates through abundance, not limitation. Like the air you breathe, which never runs short despite billions inhaling simultaneously, true wealth flows in endless supply. The appearance of scarcity exists only in the mind trained to see boundaries where none exist. Look at the stars scattered across the night sky, the grains of sand on every shore, the drops in every ocean. The universe creates in magnificent excess, never counting, never hoarding, never fearing depletion. This same infinite source flows through your life, waiting only for recognition. Kirk, a merchant who once guarded his resources fiercely, discovered this truth through an unexpected path. When his warehouse overflowed with goods, rather than storing them for future scarcity, he began sharing with neighboring businesses. To his amazement, his generosity triggered a flow of reciprocity. New opportunities, partnerships, and prosperity poured in from directions he never anticipated. His experience reveals the hidden mechanism of abundance, giving signals trust in the infinite supply. When you release your grip on resources, you declare to the universe, "I trust there is always more." This trust becomes the very channel through which more flows. Consider a fountain. The water must flow out for more to flow in. Should the fountain attempt to hold what it has, it would stagnate. The same principle governs universal abundance. Circulation maintains and multiplies supply. The moment you open your hands to give, you create space to receive. This ancient truth whispers through every natural system. Rivers flow endlessly. Clouds release rain without reservation. Flowers scatter seeds with abandon. These are not mere poetic metaphors, but demonstrations of the universe's fundamental nature, infinite supply expressing through endless giving. The belief in scarcity is a veil, a temporary blindness to the abundance surrounding you. Remove this veil and witness how the universe operates through channels of endless giving, endless receiving, endless renewal. Ancient practice. Find a quiet moment and settle into stillness. Place your hands palms up on your lap, symbolizing readiness to receive. Observe the continuous flow of breath, nature's first gift of abundance. Then, with deep conviction, speak these words, "More flows always." Feel the truth of infinite supply expanding within you. Let this knowing permeate your consciousness until you sense yourself as part of this endless stream of universal abundance. Chapter 26. The Power of Presence. In the bustling marketplace of a distant land, a merchant named Evelyn paced anxiously between stalls of gleaming wares. Though her shop prospered, shadows of tomorrow's uncertainties darkened her thoughts. Each coin counted spoke not of abundance but of fear. What if the wells of fortune ran dry? The universe speaks in the language of now. When your mind dwells in tomorrow's mists, it scatters the power of presence like seeds in the wind. The wealthy ones, those who seem touched by golden fortune, have discovered this truth. Manifestation knows only one moment. This one. Your creative force resides not in the future's promise nor in yesterday's memory. It lives in the pulse of now, where thought and form dance as one. When you stand fully in the present, energy responds with immediate clarity. This is why those who master abundance rarely speak of tomorrow's worries. They have learned to concentrate their power in the eternal now. The present moment holds the frequency of completion. It is only here that your vibration carries its full potency. When you diffuse your energy across time's landscape, you dilute the very force that manifests your desires. In a quiet village by the sea, Ray spent his mornings in simple communion with his breath. While others rushed toward distant horizons, he anchored himself in each inhale, each exhale. Soon, life began moving toward him. Opportunities appeared like waves reaching naturally for shore. His business flourished not through complex strategies but through presence. The breath serves as your gateway to now. It neither knows nor cares about future concerns. It simply is, and in that being lies its power. Those who seem blessed by fortune have learned this secret. Wealth flows most freely to those who master the art of being fully present. Your manifestations falter not from lack of effort, but from lack of presence. The universe responds not to what you wish for tomorrow, but to what you embody today. This is why gratitude holds such power. It roots you firmly in the now where creation begins. The present moment is the only point of power. Here, in this breath, your vibration reaches its peak resonance. Here, your thoughts carry their greatest creative force. Here, the universe listens most clearly to your inner song. Practice, settle into stillness, and observe your breath for 60 seconds. Feel each inhale as abundance entering, each exhale as resistance dissolving. This single minute contains the seed of all wealth, for in true presence, you access the infinite now, where all possibilities exist. Chapter 27. Transformation of Doubt. In a small coastal town, Janet sat at her window each morning questioning why manifestation seemed to work for others, but not for her. Her analytical mind dissected every teaching until doubt became her constant companion. Yet one autumn morning, as leaves danced in spirals outside her window, she witnessed something remarkable. Rather than fighting her questions, she began treating them as stepping stones to understanding. The universe speaks in whispers and roars, in subtle signs and unmistakable messages. Your questioning mind is not your enemy. It is a sacred instrument of discovery. When you transform doubt from a weapon of self-sabotage into a tool of exploration, you unlock the hidden chambers of universal wisdom. Like Janet, you may have spent countless hours analyzing why certain desires manifest while others remain ethereal dreams. This very analysis, when redirected, becomes the bridge between uncertainty and knowing. The ancient masters understood that doubt serves as the whetstone upon which faith is sharpened. Consider how a scientist approaches the unknown, not with blind acceptance or rigid skepticism, but with open curiosity. This same approach unveils the mechanics of manifestation. Each question you ask sends ripples through the quantum field, drawing answers toward you like moths to flame. Arthur, a merchant who once doubted every spiritual principle, discovered this truth through an elegantly simple practice. Each evening, he documented the impossible things that had manifested in his life, the chance meetings that led to partnerships, the unexpected windfalls, the synchronicities that defied explanation. With each entry in his journal, his trust in the universe's orchestration deepened. Your rational mind seeks evidence. Honor this need rather than fighting it. When you catalog the miracles in your life, both grand and subtle, you build a foundation of trust that no passing doubt can shake. This is not blind faith, but faith strengthened by observation and experience. The greatest masters are not those who never doubt, but those who have learned to transmute doubt into deeper understanding. Let your questions guide you toward proof, and let proof illuminate the path to greater faith. Wisdom whispers that faith and reason are not opponents in an eternal battle, but dance partners in the grand ballroom of consciousness. When you embrace both, you step into the fullness of your manifesting power. Interpretation. Each doubt carries within it the seed of stronger faith. By treating skepticism as an ally rather than an adversary, you transform resistance into resonance. Practice. When doubt arises, smile and say, "Ah, you're my chance to believe again." Watch peace return. Chapter 28. Identity Shift. In the heart of an ancient city, Millie stood before her mirror each morning, reciting affirmations of wealth. Yet something felt hollow. Her words rang false against the reflection she saw. One dawn, as sunlight painted golden patterns across her wall, understanding dawned. Manifestation required not different words, but a different self. The truth lies not in what you do, but in who you become. Every desire you hold points toward a version of yourself that already exists in potential. This self waits, fully formed, in the quantum field of all possibilities. Your task is not to create this self, but to step into alignment with it. Your current circumstances reflect your present self-image with perfect accuracy. When you attempt to manifest while holding on to old beliefs about who you are, you create internal conflict. The universe cannot deliver what contradicts your deepest sense of identity. Like water taking the shape of its container, reality molds itself to your self-concept. Millie discovered that her morning ritual needed to shift from speaking about abundance to embodying the consciousness of one who lives in abundance. She began moving through her day as though wealth were already her natural state. Lionel, a shopkeeper, grasped this principle through simple yet powerful practice. Rather than straining to afford luxury, he cultivated the mindset of someone who navigated life with ease. He walked with quiet confidence, made decisions from a place of security, and treated each interaction as though success were inevitable. His bank account soon aligned with this new frequency of being. You need not spend differently to embody abundance. Instead, allow your thoughts, emotions, and energy to resonate with your desired state of being. When you encounter choices, ask yourself, what would my wealthy self do? The answer often relates more to presence than to purchase. The elite understand this secret. They became successful in consciousness before manifesting success in form. Their outer wealth simply grew to match their inner knowing. You hold this same power, the ability to shift your entire reality by shifting your self-concept. Your self-image acts as a thermostat, regulating what manifestations can occur in your life. When you adjust this internal setting through conscious embodiment, the universe responds by rearranging circumstances to match your new frequency. Interpretation. Identity creates reality with unfailing precision. The version of you that already has what you desire exists now. Your task is to become that self in consciousness. Practice. Ask yourself tonight, who am I becoming? Answer as the future self, not the former. Chapter 29. The Master Formula. In a bustling marketplace, Estelle watched merchants exchange goods, noting how some flourished while others struggled. For years she had studied the wealthy, noticing they possessed an almost magical ability to manifest their desires. Yet today, as she observed the scene before her, wisdom dawned like the morning sun. The merchants who thrived weren't just thinking positively or simply feeling good. They embodied a perfect balance of three essential elements. They thought with crystal clarity about their intentions, felt deep emotional connection to their goals, and maintained unwavering trust in their success. This trinity of manifestation, thought, emotion, and trust, forms the foundation of all creation. Like a three-legged stool, remove any one leg, and the whole structure falls. Your thoughts act as the architect's blueprint. Your emotions provide the energy that brings the blueprint to life, and your trust allows the universe to work its magic unimpeded. Consider how the elite manifest with such apparent ease. They don't consciously separate these elements. For them, it's as natural as breathing. When they envision success, their entire being aligns. Their thoughts are clear and focused. Their emotions resonate with the joy of achievement, and their trust remains unshaken by temporary setbacks. Ralph, a quiet shopkeeper, applied this understanding with remarkable results. Each morning, he would sit in his study, combining these three forces with practiced precision. He would first clarify his vision, seeing his thriving business in detail. Then, he would summon the feelings of satisfaction and gratitude as if his vision were already real. Finally, he would release his desire into the universe with complete trust, knowing that manifestation was inevitable. Within months, his small shop transformed into a flourishing enterprise. His success wasn't built on strategy alone. It emerged from his mastery of this threefold approach. He had discovered what the naturally prosperous had always known. Manifestation requires the harmony of all three elements. The universe responds not to what you think alone, nor what you feel alone, nor what you trust alone. It responds to the unified field created when all three align. Like a master musician playing a perfect chord, when thought, emotion, and trust resonate together, the universe cannot help but echo your desired reality back to you. Ancient practice. Find a quiet moment and settle into stillness. Place your hand over your heart and speak these words with conviction. I think clearly, feel richly, and trust completely. Let each word resonate through your being. Allow this trinity to become your natural state, your default way of engaging with the universe. This is not merely an affirmation. It is an alignment with the very forces that shape reality. Chapter 30. This is the secret. Faith unfolds like a flower in the morning light, revealing the simplest of truths. The separation between you and those who seem to command reality exists only in perception. The elite's seeming magic is nothing more than the natural state you were born to embody. A state of crystal clarity, unwavering confidence, and peaceful surrender to universal flow. What appears as their secret is simply remembrance of what you have always known. Creation was never a privilege granted to few. It was a birthright waiting for your recognition. The wealthy and influential don't possess special powers. They've simply remembered who they are, and in doing so, aligned with the natural laws of manifestation. Take note of Bert, who awakens each morning filled with quiet knowing. He understands that every thought flowing through his mind is a direct command to the universe. He doesn't strain or struggle with this knowledge. He simply accepts it as naturally as he accepts the sunrise. His gratitude flows not from what he hopes to receive, but from the understanding that he is already one with the creative force of life itself. You have been searching outside yourself for what has always lived within. The secret you seek isn't hidden in ancient texts or guarded by mystic gatekeepers. It pulses in your every breath, whispers in your every thought, and moves through your every action. You are the secret you've been seeking. The elite didn't discover something new. They remembered something eternal. Their wealth, their influence, their seemingly effortless manifestation all spring from this one recognition. They are the creative force they once sought. And so are you. This understanding marks the end of seeking and the beginning of knowing. No longer must you chase success or hunt for hidden formulas. Your thoughts already hold the power of creation. Your emotions already speak the language of manifestation. Your trust already opens the gates of infinite possibility. The difference between struggle and flow, between effort and ease, between wanting and having, dissolves in this recognition. You are not learning to manifest. You are remembering that you have always been manifestation itself. Ancient practice. In the silence of this moment, close your eyes and whisper these words, "I am the secret." Feel how these words resonate not as an affirmation but as a remembrance. Let them echo through your being, awakening what has always been true. Notice how the universe begins to mirror this recognition back to you, showing you your own power reflected in every experience. If you enjoyed this audiobook, I created a free ebook version for you. You can download it using the link in the pinned comment. Conclusion. In the depths of ancient wisdom lies a truth so simple yet so transformative. You are the secret you've been seeking. The elite do not possess supernatural powers or hidden formulas. They have simply remembered what you now know. Their mastery stems from an unwavering understanding that consciousness shapes reality. Through these teachings, you have rediscovered that manifestation flows naturally when mind, heart, and spirit align. Like a master painter who sees the masterpiece before the first brushstroke, you now understand that creation begins in the silent chambers of thought. The wealthy and wise do not force or struggle. They allow universal laws to operate through their focused awareness. Think of your consciousness as a garden where every thought takes root. The elite tend this garden not with effort, but with understanding. They know that gratitude waters the seeds of desire, while belief provides the warmth that nurtures growth. Their power lies not in doing, but in being, in maintaining the frequency of having, while the physical world catches up to their inner reality. You now hold the same wisdom that has guided generations of masters. The difference between struggle and flow, between wanting and having, rests in this profound realization. Manifestation is your natural state. Just as the sun does not strain to shine, or the earth labor to spin, your role is to align with the infinite intelligence that orchestrates all creation. Remember, there is no separation between you and the source of all abundance. The elite simply mirror this truth back to you. They demonstrate what becomes possible when you fully embrace your role as a conscious creator. Their success is not a testament to superiority, but to alignment with universal law. The secret has never been hidden. It has been waiting within you to be remembered. You are both the artist and the masterpiece, the dreamer and the dream.
If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.